Yes, sister. The rukyah? Yes. In other words, if a person is possessed with a black magic, with a tiwala, with a possession by devilish possession, the jinn and so forth, whether the evil eye, what do you do in this situation? Well, the hadith does say, whoever is able to assist his friend, his brother or sister, then let him assist. In other words, if you are able to do our rukyah, the Islamic rukyah, the Islamic incantation, not the incantation of sihr, magic and so forth, which is haram, the correct Islamic incantation, which is the rukyah from the Qur'an and the Sunnah, then you are advised. Yes, absolutely. And there are specific verses in the Qur'an and ad'iyah that one can utilize, inshallah, when he exercises the patient. Or you can call him a victim if you want. So, yes, you are allowed to do that. Rasulullah himself did it. When he was traveling with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq to a particular destination, a place, and a woman was there with her son, and his son has been affected by the devil. So she said, Ya Rasulullah, my son is affected. So Rasulullah grabbed her son and said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim 3 times and spat in his mouth. And then returned the child back to the mother and said to her, meet me when I come back from in this direction, inshaAllah ta'ala. So when he came back from his travel, the lady was there with her son. So he asked her about how the son has fared. She said, Alhamdulillah, Ya Rasulullah, he's been good ever since what you did. And there are many other examples or hadith, like Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. He done a rukyah on the person that was bitten by a scorpion. And he was a non-Muslim, which even testifies to the fact that not only Muslims can be done rukyah on them, even non-Muslims. In Australia, when I was teaching there, I done a rukyah on a Hindu, an Indian Hindu, and he had many jinn in him. And subhanAllah, after about 3 sessions with him, he comes up to me, and I was teaching in a chair, on a chair that time, sitting down like this, and there was no one in front of me. I was teaching. And when I teach, I raise my hands and shout and this and that. So as I was teaching, there was no one in front of me. Who can tell me why? Was I teaching the gym? I was sitting down, giving the lecture, and it was a very intense lecture, but there was no one in front of me. Wallahi, there was no one in front of me. So how can that be? There was no camera. I was giving a lesson, but there was no one in front of me. Sisters, they were in another area. So this young guy that was possessed, and I was being recited over, he comes up the staircase, and he just looks at me. What the heck is he doing? He could see no one in front of me, and I'm yelling and shouting and doing this and, doing a lecture. So he looked at me, he got scared for a second there. Like he was in doubt. Should I come? Should I go and see this guy? He looks like he needs a recital. He thought, I need a recital. So he comes up anyway, and slowly he's looking at me as I'm talking. And then I stopped and said, brother, come in. It's okay. I'm talking to people inside that room. Oh, okay. So he sat next to me and he said to me after the lesson I was given, he goes, thank you very much, sir. He's not a Muslim, but I have never ever slept as I've been sleeping since you've done the rukyah. Because I feel nothing affecting me or interfering in my sleep since you have done the rukyah on me. And that person then started following Islam up. And I don't know what happened because I left. But I left him with the boys in GRYC, the Global Islamic Youth Center. But yes, you can do it to Muslim and non-Muslim. In fact, the non-Muslim, you see a lot of bizarre things when you do the rukyah on them. There are more sort of, weird experiences than that of a Muslim's rukyah. Sorry? Are you allowed to utilize the assistance of the jinn? Absolutely not. You are not allowed to utilize the jinn in order to assist you in your rukyah. So much so it could reach shirk. So you got to be very careful of assisting yourself with anything or anyone but who? Allah Ta'ala.